we have a bunch of Scottish Labour MPs who are doing some freelance briefing to the effect that Keir Starmer should stand down before the May election and be replaced by Wes Streeting in a coronation. Now, we saw some of this briefing before Christmas. It's flared up again after the new year. Mark, I don't know what you think, but this seems to be madness of epic proportions from these MPs because, right now, Scottish Labour are 20 points behind in the polls. They're fighting for their lives. Every day is critical in terms of getting their message out, trying to frame the election as it's about the SNP's record in government, not about Starmer. Some of these MPs basically want a leadership contest or the focus to be on who's leading the UK Labour Party, which would suck all the oxygen away from Sarwar. It's just idiocy, isn't it?
I mean, you've heard the turkeys voting for Christmas, eh? This is turkeys voting for Christmas and sort of turkey Armageddon and going to work in a Bernard Matthews factory. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? I mean, these Labour MPs, if they've got a brain cell between them, right, must be getting together and thinking the way that the Labour can have a chance of being anywhere near power after the next holiday election is unity of purpose, getting an absolutely laser focus on the message without sounding too much like Tony Blair or Alistair Campbell. Decide what your message is, which will be hopefully let's fix Scotland's broken public services and have a laser-like focus on that. And every MP and every MSP should just be repeating that ad nauseum between now and election day to get into a sort of, a UK Labour leadership fight to promote that is just off the scale numptiness. Now, the other thing is Wes Streeting, right? Who's decided? I want to know, right? I know that political reporters, they get together, they decide these things, right? Because I used to be one, so I can't like. They've decided Wes Streeting is the new Tony Blair, or he's the coming man in Labour. Why? I don't know one person that likes him. He comes across to me like a bit of a, for want of a better word, prick. What is it about him?
I actually think he's very able, right? But regardless of whether you think he's able or not, there's no way he would get the leadership via coronation. So if Starmer was dumped, there would be a leadership contest and it would be Streeting, the Home Secretary, probably Angela Rayner. And so the next few months, rather than it being about Sarwar versus Swinney, it all would be about divisions inside the UK Labour leadership. I mean, Swinney might as well just go on holiday for the entire campaign. It would be game over. Sometimes there are parts of politics that are quite difficult and complex. But if you look at the run-up between now and May, if you're in Scottish Labour and you're a parliamentarian, everything you say and do should be about helping the leader and putting out the message that has been agreed. Doing this sort of freelancing is just, I mean, it's not even self-indulgent. It goes way beyond that.
It's also Labour's problems in the polls right now is because so much focus on Westminster. So why would they want to draw even more focus to Westminster, even more focus towards Sir Keir Starmer's failings? I mean, we're in a position now, Paul, you said at the start that there's only two candidates to be First Minister. I'm not sure Anas Sarwar's in the race right now. He may well get there again over the coming months. I've been saying that, eventually I think the focus will shift for a lot of people into the, away from Westminster and on to the SNP. Of course, these Labour, briefing sources seem to want to keep that focus on Westminster for some bizarre reason. And I've got to agree with Smitty. I mean, Wes Streeting, the word he used, I think you could put the word smarmy before that as well.
He's a very good communicator. He's good on TV.
I think I said to you guys off air, if we asked ChatGPT to draw a picture of a new Labour Blairite, I think it would come up with Wes Streeting. I don't know if that's really what Labour needs right now. Although I've got to say it does need something because they're just absolutely tanking. Like everywhere, they're tanking up here. Anas Sarwar's coming across. He was almost a bit critical of Sir Keir Starmer the other day. Kind of saying, what was it said? Try to distance himself. We know it hasn't gone well. And then today he's calling these Labour MPs idiots or idiotic for what they're doing. It doesn't appear like a particularly happy camp at the moment. So perhaps
Usually as well, usually when we're talking about Labour splits and divisions, it's left versus right,
but
left versus moderates. But I mean, I think that the briefing is actually coming from Scottish Labour MPs who are to the right of Starmer and are more aligned with Streeting, which is interesting. It's almost like, well, Keir Starmer's not really one of us. By that I mean a sort of New Labour type. And if he was only more New Labour, then Scottish Labour might be in a better place.